Welcome everybody back to the channel. We are here checking out some pre-alpha footage of Manor Lords. It is an upcoming medieval strategy game for the PC that combines deep, organic, and realistic city building with large-scale tactical battles. We are here to cover some images that you may have not seen yet, and we are going to check out the trailer as well in its entirety. And let's get to it. I'm going to restart it so everybody can see it, and then we will show some images, talk about the game a little bit, what the core features are there to offer. And this game looks very promising. It looks like a bunch of like Foundation and Banished and all that. The really good games. And as you could tell here by that red block there that you just saw. But we will check out that more later here in a minute. But let's go ahead and restart the video and show you guys the trailer in its entirety and go from there. Let's get to it. So we're going to start off with the in-game building here, but for one, I want to let y'all know this is going to, hopefully, they're aiming to release it for early access in fall of 2020 on Steam, but the date may change, and this is for PC for anybody that's coming, saw the game, and they're interested in it. It's just for PC right now, but they have some organic city building. These are some of the core features of the game. One of them is the scaffolding in this video, or this photo that I saw. And I also saw it in the video. We'll go back to the trailer and do an in-depth analysis of the trailer. But for right now, we're going to look at some images. And this game is being developed by one person and one person only. But this looks like the Lord's Manor. You can see the scaffolding. You can see it looks like they're building and bringing materials to it so they can build this Lord's Manor up. Here is a photo of a house that has the lumber. It goes piece by piece, and you don't see many games like this that show that much depthness to the game of building. And I think a lot of people are really looking forward to that because this brings a whole new level to the game. Here's a finished look of the Lord's Manor that looks like they were building, and it looks like it is the Lord's Manor. Very important building in the game, which I mean I would assume would be a very important building in the game. And the forestry and this game just looks beautiful from these images that you see here. But they're going to have a Manor Lord aims to provide a gridless organic city building experience with full freedom of placement and rotation. So you can literally place and rotate these buildings any way you would like. But it also utilizes a spline based roads with adjustable curvature and snapping tools to make the planning more comfortable. So pretty much you can build your form of road any way you like, build your medieval town the way you like, your village, whatever you would like to call it. Looks like some stone here. We're going to jump straight into boundaries as well. As you see this reminds me of a little bit of Foundation, if anyone has ever played that. I also have a series on it. If you'd like, the link will be in the description down below. But we see there's boundaries. So I wonder what it takes to get to the next area. Or what it'll take to get there. Will it take food? Will it take people to go scout it? I mean, we'll find out once the game comes out and we get more details. But this seems to be, here's looks like a more in-depth video, or a photo I mean, of the boundaries as well. Here's more boundaries and more of the spline roads that we were talking about. The way they built their roads, you can literally build it to how you like it. There is no snap locking, nothing. The building mechanic is motivated by the growth of real medieval towns and villages, where major trade routes and landscapes often influenced how the settlement shaped and developed. So there will be a lot of trade needed. Here's another in-depth image of the scaffolding in the buildings of the building right here. And I think this is amazing. This is really nice, and there's a lot of detail put into the game so far. Now, the only thing I'm wondering is, will we be able to upgrade these roads from, it looks like dirt, to maybe stone or rock? Here's a farm over here that you can see as well. That's probably the farm right there where they keep the oxens and everything like that. But let's get into the next thing here. This is a very detailed picture that I saw and I have of the weapons, and let's get to it. So what I found here in this picture looks like a weapons rack. So it looks like maybe there is a blacksmith obviously in the game, so your villagers will most likely come, your army will come from your village most likely. You'll probably be able to assign, I'm not saying it's going to be in the game, we're just thinking, but maybe you can assign villagers to be part of the war. And it looks like maybe he's a part of it as well. They're just kind of commingling right now. You see someone getting some water from the well. You see a lot of water on the ground. So maybe it just rained in the game. And the puddles are from the rain. You could see tire tracks here. So maybe someone was coming to bring weapons or grab weapons for trade. But this is a very nice image here that maybe people overlook. And you can see some axes and everything like that for the armies, which is pretty freaking sweet. Here's an army during the weather changes, which is snow, so it looks like it's just now getting out of winter and maybe going into the next season, as there is some flowers blooming there. Some of the trees in the background still have some snow on it, but here is just another image of the archers up front, which is kind of different, and the spearmen in the back. Here's another in-depth image. You could see the army is trying to defeat the other army. So positioning is very important in this game. A smaller army can defeat a bigger army. That is something in this game. So formation is very important. You can flank. Fatigue is a big thing in the game. Weather is a big thing in the game as well. Is what they're trying to make a big thing. So we'll have to just find out when the game comes out. Here is another image. You could see blood splatter on this person and this person. None on them yet. These people have probably been in the game for a minute. You could see the blood splatter on the swords. The shield. I mean, just the in-depth detail. I know I've said it multiple times, but it's just, this is one of the games people are looking for. Like, that is crazy. There's blood splatter on this guy. On the pikeman here. I mean, that's great. Pikeman in the back got blood, blood, blood. These are just really cool photos that we ended up getting from the dev to show, so we could showcase this to you guys, and hopefully you guys will be interested in the game when it comes out. But here's another photo that you can see from the game of just the armies. These are really cool pictures. I mean, just the detail of the grass, the trees. So I'm really excited to see what the game brings with battles and everything like that, or if it's gonna be multiplayer. I would assume it's gonna be multiplayer because it's an RTS / medieval builder. And I wonder if there's gonna be a story to the game, or maybe we just jump right into it. So I guess we'll have to see when the game comes out. But the game is not set in a particular century. Every building is inspired by historical references from the 11th to 15th century of Europe. But we're going to move on to the farming aspect of the game now. So here's some of the farming. The fields must be plowed by a team of oxen, iron bloomed in a bloomery. The sheep's herded on the open pastures governed by the lord of the manor. The game focuses on realism, attention to detail, and immersion. The seasons pass, the weather changes, towns can rise and fall to war, disease, are famine. So that is something we need to pay attention to as well in the game. I feel like there's going to be so much stuff in the game that we will get overwhelmed at the start. Trying to learn everything, we may fail sometimes, but that is okay. It's a whole part of learning. But just the attention to detail is what he is trying to get across to everybody. And that is what he is trying to do. We're going to go over some stuff that maybe people have not seen yet, but you can find it on the website, and we'll go over the details that they are putting into the game. As I said, it's only one person making it, so we have to be patient with it. Another thing I want to go back to with the armies and stuff. So we're going to throw some other images up here while we talk about that you guys may have not seen yet, and that I'm going to try to maybe figure out what some of the buildings are for. But let's go ahead and get into that. So for the large-scale battles, cavalry fortifications, units on walls, gunpowder, and siege engines such as trebuchets are a work in progress and will certainly be present in the final game. Just for people that are wondering about that, if you do not know, if you've had that question, I'm super excited to see what the trebuchets are going to do in the game. Cavalry, fortifications, and the units on the walls. So you need to defend your village. I'm so excited just thinking about it. But here's some images that are in the game. I see this back here. It looks kind of like a town center for maybe people to come get their materials from trade or just anything from the city that you've made. You see a couple villagers here co-mingling with each other. I have no idea what this area is right here. We have some more of the wells in the villages commingling. We got some chickens. There's more of that in-depth rain are the puddles that I've seen in the game. So it's possibly from the rain and the weather. I'm thinking this is for trade of some sort. When they come in with the carts and some of the materials are too heavy, maybe they turn this around and grab the materials and then go ahead and put them down here as well. So that may be a part of something like in that general aspect of the game. Here looks like an inn of some sort. I think this is an inn. I feel like maybe people can come here to chill, sleep, do anything they need to. Maybe this is just a more upgraded building of some sort. But I'm thinking maybe it's an inn. Here's another city or another little village picture where we see part of the field plowed and some of it looks like it's already been harvested and they're just working on plowing it right now to get it ready for the next season. Now I wonder if farming will have to deal with seasons, because some things you can only make during certain seasons and some things you can't. So I wonder if there's going to be that much depth in the game when it comes to that, because that would be very crazy. Like, okay, you can only make potatoes now, or you can only make corn now, or this now. So that'll be pretty cool. But this is where I get that image for the town center for trade, because it's got this thing and it always seems to be around these tents here, which I would assume is like a market area. Here's someone coming in for trade, possibly bringing in more materials. Here is another picture of this with the tents and the well. She looks like she's a little crazy. Or maybe she's looking for people to sell things to. I have no idea. But it's pretty cool looking at these images here. Here's a well with more villagers just talking amongst themselves. There's another image with the tents. Here is one of the gathering huts. So this man just went out, our lady, I can't tell which one it is quite from this image. It probably is a man. But he went hunting and now he is carving and cooking up the meat of this deer here that we have, that he came back, that you saw in the video of them hunting, and just it's over his shoulder, bringing it back to the village to get prepared for them to eat. Here's a lumber mill, I would assume. He's got some lumber in his hand that he probably just cut for his house for the winter so he can be prepared for when winter comes to keep it warm. Here's some villagers, maybe new villagers that just came into town, or maybe they're just coming to get more wood here. But that seems to be all the images that we have so far. That is all the images I have that I can show y'all for the time being. You can find this game on Steam. It is Manor Lords. I'll have all the stuff in the description down below. But it is, if you need to find their social media, they have Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit. I'm pretty sure they have a Patreon. But we'll have all that in the description below. But we're going to go over one more thing real fast that I found interesting about the game that makes me even more excited than I already am for this game. So let's go ahead and get to that. So this is on their website. You can find the tech behind the game. There is motion capture, photogrammetry, and simulation. But first, let's start off with the motion capture. Mocap goes well in pair with 3D scanning to make the art direction of the game more shifted towards realism and immersion. Like I've been saying in the video the whole time, realism and immersion is a big, bold word here that they are just trying to get across to everybody about things. It especially helps to give the battles a more natural and authentic feel. So the video and the images that we have seen, you can see the way they move. See how they throw their sword, block with the shield, throw the arrows, anything like that. The utilizing Quixel Megascans as well as handmade photogrammetry has sped up the development greatly, but also increased the visual fidelity. So this game, the reason it looks so beautiful is because of photogrammetry. They are making it look fantastic, and that is a big thing for a lot of people, is just detail in the game that makes more people more excited. But then let's get to the last thing, which is the simulation. The destruction simulations are pre-calculated in Houdini to allow the most detailed visuals with possible use of real-time cutting-edge chaos physics in the future. So will this be in the game pre-alpha? We have no idea yet, but this will be in the final game for sure, which is the pre-fractured structures are used for construction process as well. So the simulation behind this building just falling down, maybe it got hit by a trebuchet, maybe something in nature happened, maybe they're gonna have earthquakes. We'll never know until the game comes out. But the simulation of this building just collapsing and falling down is crazy. Just watching it just fall. It's all over the road. It's getting all over here. Maybe you have to clean it up. But the tech behind this game is something I can get behind. And hopefully y'all will get behind as well if you really enjoy these types of games. I think this is something a lot of people have been looking forward to. And I know I have been. This is something that I have been wanting for a long time. And I'm super excited to see where the game goes in the future. The dev is a great guy. I've also said there was a Patreon. I'll have that description down below. It's only $3 a month. So I will, if you are wanting to support him in his journey with the game and be a part of the game, then be for sure go to the Patreon down in the description below. Join the Discord. I'll have all the links in the description that you guys can find. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the game and how excited you are, what you hope to see. If you have any questions that maybe I can ask the dev for y'all, so in the next video we can go over like a Q&A of questions that people have asked as well. But for now, I will see you on the next one. Peace. If y'all liked that video, make sure to maybe watch this video, or maybe this video, or you know what? Maybe you can watch both videos. That'd be freaking sweet, wouldn't it? So hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. If not, it's been a pleasure, and I thank every one of you for being here. Have a good one. Appreciate it.